Welcome back, guys. So in this program we will try to understand how to find the common elements in two array, right? So let's try to understand the logic. So let's say whenever someone will ask you, you need to find out the common elements into two arrays. So how do you do that? Okay, do not try to remember the program. First try to understand what is the question is all about. Okay, so the question, it is saying that you have two given array. So let's say let me write one array. A1 is equal to, let's say I have 5, 7, 31, 9, and then what I have 20. Okay, and then I have a second array which I have 7, 2, 11, 9, 31, 32 and 4. So basically what I have two array, right? Now guys, tell me one thing. To know that whether the elements are common in both the array, what we need to do that? Okay, so basically we need to compare this guy 5 with 7, we need to compare 5 with 21, then we need to compare 5 with 11, we need to compare 5 with this guy 9, so on, right? 31, we also need to compare 32, and then we need to compare this guy 4, right, to find out, right? Then again for the second element, guys, if you try to understand, again for 7, what you have to do, guys, right? You need to compare with the 7. Okay, you need to also compare with the 2, because you are trying to find out how many common you have, right? So if you try to understand and so on, right? Again, if we'll talk about the 20, let's say the last element, try to understand. So this need to be compared with, you can start from the beginning, I'm writing from the end. Okay, this need to be compared with this guy, this need to be compared with this guy, again this need to be compared with this guy, need to be compared with this guy, and so on, right? So basically if you look at, you are comparing it, again compare with this guy and compare with this guy. So what I'm trying to say it here is, your every element of the first array, okay, your every element of the first array is going to compared with every elements of the second array. Let's take very small example just to relate. 5, 7, 8, there is a one array, and the second array you have 6, 5 and 4. There are two array now, and let's say assume that you have two array now. So what you basically do, you will compare this guy, we will compare this guy and compare this guy. Now again for the 7, what you will do, you will compare this guy, you will compare this guy, you will compare this guy. For 8, what you will do, again for 8 you will start from the beginning. So again you will compare like this 8, again the 8 will get compared with 5, again 8 get compared with 4, right? So tell me one thing, how many times this loop will run? This loop will run n time, right? This loop will run n time, because it is starting from 0, it is going to 1, 2, because it's an array, right? Array index start from 0, so basically it will run by the n time. So when you say when you will start I from 0, you need to run I less than n for the first array. For the second array, guys, again this guy is also running n time. If you look at the second array carefully, this guy is also running n time. Why? Because you are comparing every element of this with the entire element of second array. Again the second element of the first array, you are comparing with the entire element of the second array. Again the third element of the first array, you are comparing with the entire entire second array, right? So basically what is happening for every element, so let me now erase this, right? So for every element of the first, so if I have to write again, I can write here, let's say my array is 4, 5, 6, right? And here I have 7, 8, 9, which means if you look at for every one, right, for this guy you need to run this many times, right? For one element of first array. Again, for the one element of the second array, for this guy, again you need to run the entire things. Okay, again for this guy you need to run the entire array, right? So basically for every element of the first array, your second array need to be run n times, right? For every element of this array, this need to be run n times, which means now focus on the logic. Look at here, this is my first for loop. Okay, when I say first for loop, which will run on the outer part, so the first for loop, it will pick up 4 from the first array, and there is another second for loop which will run on the j, which will run on the second array. You can see that I is equal to 0, I less than array dot length. Why? Because I am starting from 0, I plus plus. My second array j is equal to 0, j less than array 2 dot length, j plus plus, right? So this is running on my second array. Now when you start your first array, what will happen? When let's say if I have to explain you how these iterations will happen, let's say assume that this is your first iterations. Okay, in first iterations, what will happen? Your I is going to be 0. When your I is going to be the 0, just a second guys, 1 second, let me rewrite. So let's say your I is equal to 0. When your I is equal to 0, what happens? Your j is going to be, j will run for the 0, j will run for the 1. Let's say consider that there are 3 elements. Okay, j will run for the 2 for I is equal to 0, right? Again when I will become 1, your j will run again from 0, again from 1, again from 2. Okay, second case. Now let's say in third iterations, because there are 3 elements here, right? There are 3 elements here. So when I is equal to 2, your j is going to be j is equal to 0, j is equal to 1, and j is equal to 2, right? So what I'm trying to explain here, I'm trying to explain here one logic is, for every value of I, your j should always start from the 0. For your every value of I, j should always start from the 0. Now you understood? Because your every element of the first array need to be compared with the second array. Okay, so when you talk about the 5 will get compared with the 0, 5 will get compared with the 1, 5 will get compared with the 2. Now when you talk about the 6 will again, what will happen with the 6 will get compared with the 0, 6 will get compared with the 1, 6 will get compared with the 2, right? Ideally we should not compare the same number with the number, right? Otherwise 6 you are comparing with the 2 means this element. Okay, 2 means this element, because this array is different guys. Okay, now again if you focus guys, for 4 also, so this you did, let's say this you did for 5, this you did for 6, right? 6 I'm saying that number, and this is the index, right guys? So this is our index, right? This is our index. Now write one more index. So when I will write one more index, 0, 1 and 2, right? So if you focus, right, 0, 1 and 2, basically this you are doing that for the 4, right? So for the 5 you ran for 0, 1, 2, for 6 0, 1, 2, for 4 0, 1, 2. This is the index. So every time index is starting from where? 0, right? It is going where? Till the last element, right? So j is always start from the 0. That is the reason here. Now clear? Why j should start from the 0? Somebody will ask you why j should start from the 0. So you have to give clear explanation here why j should start from the 0 and why j should go till the end. And then after that, it's very simple. The element what you 0 you have, your 0 should 0 is nothing but your this element. Let's say 4 should get compared with the index 0, 1, 2. 6 will get compared with the index 0, 1, 2 of the second array. Okay, of the second array. Okay, again 5 should get compared with the 0, 1, 2 index of the second array. So the I remains same because this is your outer for loop. Okay, so I will remain same when your inner for loop will run, right? So basically this will execute for every value of I, right? So I remains same and j will change, it will compare, if it will match it will print. Now you got it, why you should write 2 for loop and why your j should start from the 0, why your I j should not depends on the I. J should always start from the 0, because these are the things we need to understand. Generally what we do, we try to remember that, and when you remember the program, trust me, you cannot solve in the interview. I hope I am clear. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching this.